And I think I'll start from my friend Joseph. Joseph works for Trocare, and I think he is coming from Turkana. And the first question I'll want to ask Joseph, do you think the communities, from in Turkana, where I think we have the best story when talking about oil, and I think in earlier forums we've also got perspectives around EHS. Do you think the communities in Turkana understand what EHS is all about? Could you use this?
Thank you very much, Bona Dennis. When we talk about the EHS, and from the presentations we've had yesterday, and from a community perspective, I think they do not understand what EHS is. Why? Because one, EHS is a company-led process that is within the confines of the four walls of the company, and it is not mostly practiced outside. For instance, you find occupational safety experts are here. They will tell us they deal with assets, risks to both staff and other people, but rarely do we find those discourses outside the people who are not working for the companies. So from a community perspective, EHS may not be something of concern to them, or they may not even be aware whether EHS is there or not, because it is normally inside there. But the EHS from a community perspective, for me, I would really not talk about safety per se, but I will talk about security. Because security is a matter of concern and it has aspects of safety. But again, that is not something the companies can provide. Even within the EHS, they don't talk about security, they talk about safety. But on the community side, it's about security.
That's very interesting, because I think in the earlier forums, someone asked from the audience, and this question was put to Talo in terms of what mechanisms have they put in place for their trucks that are moving. So for me, I didn't see it from a community perspective coming from security. I saw it in terms of what other risks are they exposed for. So are you saying that this is only limited to security and they're not worried about any other things? Even away from the transport, do their operations carry other risks? They may not really be able to define EHS the way we understand it, but what are some of the issues, or what do they allude to as EHS? As in, I think that will be interesting for us.
I think it's an interesting question. The interface between communities and the EHS, especially the safety risks on, let's say, transport. We've had trucks run off on goats. We've had community road marshals. We've had people who have not had accepted compensation, because culturally, if somebody is knocked and has died, if you compensate in terms of monetary value, for them they think it's not enough, and maybe they think compensation should come in terms of goats. So in terms of safety and security on communities, I think there is an interface between the risks associated with the transport sector, and I think the industry players have done good, and you can attest to this. In terms of even the risks of the accidents, they have reduced because of the measures, especially the speed limits, and the fact that there is,
Yeah. So I think that's very, very useful. I don't know, Susan, I think you guys are working in block L14 and L4 or L13. Yeah, you could bring us perspective from the coast. So we see, do the communities there, or maybe as the nearest communities to where your operations are, or your stakeholders, do they really understand that, what you call EHS?
Well, thank you so much. So for us, I'd say we've come a long way as from when we started getting busy sometime late last year, because the community didn't understand it well. And for us, for community, I'll start with the local guards. Our guards are the people from Pate Island. So basically, we've tried making them understand what EHS is all about. And we've started from like the basics of things that they can even practice in their own homes, like training them on a few basics about first aid. And then now, slowly, we started training the ones who are helping on the, what is it called, that well site construction and around the roads and all that. Now bringing them to understand about their own safety, like how they should protect themselves or how they can ensure they work in a safely manner. So it's still work in progress for us.
Oh, that's fantastic. So my panelists, I think, are creating the mood for us in terms of discussing, and I'll be mixing the languages. I'll be moving from Kiswahili, and I'll try a bit of Spanish. So I think because of the diversity in our audience, we have people from Spain. So it's very interesting what Joseph has shared in terms of that concept of EHS, bringing in the issue of security and also touching on safety, and also what Susan has said. And I think I'll ask Betsy, I think as someone who works with the civil society, and they've been very vocal in terms of the community being involved. Do you think the communities are having this understanding, and what are some of the gaps that you think exist that you've been trying to advocate that the people like Talo, people like SEPSA, people like Zarara could try to fit in terms of helping these communities know that we have this risk and this is the mechanisms that are being put in place to mitigate this issue? Because that is the whole conversation around EHS. What is your perspective about that? Just welcome.
All right. From the perspective of communities, they do understand the consequences of the upstream activities on the environment and on their social well-being. That much they do understand. And I'll give an example of the fisher folk in Kilifi, Mombasa, and Kwale. They do understand that if there is an oil spill, and there have been one in Kilindiniaba, which affected the mangroves, and the mangroves are the habitat for the fish, and that fish, when it is lost, then the livelihoods and their income goes down. So they do understand the relationship between the oil spill on the environment and their income and livelihood. They do understand that. But the problem or the gaps come in terms of if there is that kind of oil spill, what measures, practical measures can be taken, to clean up that environment or to get compensation. Okay, and there was an oil spill at one time, and when issues of compensation started arising, the communities were informed that because they were not organized at that time as a beach management units, they do not have a collective action institution for that compensation to be done. And therefore, the beneficiary of that compensation, it is going to be the State Department of Fisheries, because it's in charge of fisheries, and then the forest, Kenya Forest Service, because they're in charge of, the mangroves. And to me, that is not fair, because the communities, they're the one who depend on the mangroves and the fish. So if you give compensation to the government bodies, then what happens? Okay. Now, in terms of the general gaps, especially on the environmental health and safety, that systems, they're the ones that are a little bit not in place. Because I've given an example in the morning that, the Kenya Maritime Authority and that some other stakeholders, Kenya Ports Authority, some private sector in Mombasa, they have come up with, a contingency process and their roles and responsibility. And we have a few examples in the coast when it comes to issues of rescue, in terms of safety issues. We have, communities in Kilifi, Malindi, and some members who are here. They are part of those rescue, teams. So there's a bit of knowledge, but in terms of the systems and the structures from both the companies and the government, in terms of doing that, I think it's where we are lacking.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think that's very useful. And being that ameongelelea kuhusu vile mambo inaelekea kule pwani katika mambo ya EHS, ameongelea jambo la kwanza ambayo amesema ni kwamba kuna zile kamati maalum ama zile coalitions ambazo zinaweza kuja pamoja ili kuendeleza mambo ya jamii kuhusiana na mambo ya EHS. Na amesema kwamba hizi coalitions ama hizi groups zinapatia community nguvu ya kuongea kwa pamoja. Kama kuna mahali ambapo mambo ya EHS haijaenda vizuri, hizi vikundi vinaweza kuongea kwa sauti moja na kuchukua kauli moja. Hiyo imekuwa jambo la muhimu sana, lakini pia jambo lingine ambayo alikuwa ameongelea ni kwamba pia Joseph alikuwa ameiguzia, na nadhani pia ni muhimu kwamba tunapozungumzia mambo ya watu kufahamika ama ni ile ujuzi ama habari gani ambayo wale communities wanajua kulingana na mambo ya EHS. Kuna mambo ambayo inajitokeza ya kulipa ridhaa kwa wale ambao wameadhiriwa na hizo operesheni za hizo kampuni kwa mambo ya mafuta. Na ningependa nimkaribishe Chief Josephine ambaye amekuwa Lokichar tangu mambo ya mafuta yaanze huko, na ningependa nimuulize ni njia gani serikali na kampuni kama Talo kwa mfano Turkana na jamii kama kwa mfano jamii ya Turkana wanaweza fanya kazi haje pamoja ili kuleta maafikiano kwa njia ambazo wanaweza kutatua mambo za EHS katika operation kama hizo. Karibu.
Kwa wale wanijui, naitwa Josephine Akiruekal, natoka Lokichar, mali mafuta ilianzishwa. Umuhimu ya serikali na kampuni ama investors ni kukaa chini na kueleza community katika baraza jinsi wanaweza kusaidia kampuni kuwezesha kuchimba mafuta. Kwa mfano, kabla Talo hajaanza kuchimba mafuta, kulikuwa na mikutano ya viongozi. Pia baada ya viongozi wakaenda katika baraza kubwa ya wananchi ya community yote kueleza ya kwamba Talo wamepewa license kutafuta mafuta. Baada ya Talo kupeana habari kwa wananchi walikubali. Na hapo wakaanza kufanya survey. Wananchi walielezwa ya kwamba kutakuwa na survey. Ya kwanza itakuwa ni ndege, itakuwa juu ikisurvey laini ya mafuta. Ya pili wakaelezwa kwamba kuna magari kubwa kubwa ambayo itaenda na maline. Makampuni kama Global, BGP walipewa contract kufanya hizo survey. Hapo wananchi walielezwa. Lakini hawakueleza madhara ambaye itatokea. Lakini walielezwa ya kwamba kutakuwa na survey ya ndege na magari. Baada ya hiyo ikapatikana mashimo ya chimba mafuta. Mali site imechimbwa mafuta sasa. Ile community mali pale ambaye mafuta imepatikana kwa area yao walielezwa kwamba hakuna madhara, lakini department ya neema hakuonekana, ni Talo tu na wananchi na wafanyikazi wa serikali. Ndiposa wananchi wakati huu wanauliza ile madhara imeingia katika sehemu hii. Kwa nini department sectors ambaye leo jana nilikuwa naona wanatoa ripoti nzuri hawakukuwa mahali pale siku ambaye mafuta ilianzishwa. Na mimi kama Mturukana na Mwanakenya wote wanatakana kuongea kwa sauti moja ili mambo ya mafuta itengelezwe, ifuatwe sheria na malengo na kuchunga mazingira na afya ya watu. Kwa hivyo yale ningesema ya kwamba NGOs kama wale wametuleta mahali hapa ni mzuri kwa sababu wameleta watu kutoka mbalimbali ili wale wajafikiwa kuchimba mafuta yao watapata knowledge kutoka mahali imeanzishwa mafuta na mahali haijaanzishwa. Kwa hivyo mahali ambayo tulienda nje, mahali tulitembea mbaya, tunatakana turekebishe. Hasa risk, wale watu wanahusika mambo ya risk, wale wanahusika na mambo ya vifaa, wale wafanyikazi wanatrainiwa huko ndani. Faeni boots, faeni sijui nini, element, faa kitu kingine hapa. Lakini mwananchi wale chini karibu na vizima hawakufunzwa. Wale CLOs ambaye wanakuja katika vijiji wanafunza mambo ya stages, stage 1, stage 2 mpaka saizi usafirishaji ya mafuta. Hawakueleza wakisafirisha mafuta nini itatokea barabarani, tutaweka wakina nani wachunge mafuta. Leo ndio nimesikia ya kwamba kuna makampuni special ambayo watafuata truck, hawajaeleza wananchi. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio ningesema na bado nitasema.
Asante sana Chief. Makofi mzuri, si makofi ya wivu. Asante sana Chief Josephine. Nadhani ameeleza kwa uwazi kabisa na kwa mapana tangu operesheni zianze pale Turkana hadi siku ya leo. Ndugu yetu Geoffrey kutoka Haki Jamii, labda utueleze kwamba katika kazi yenu, najua mnaguzia sana mambo ya haki za jamii, na haki, kati ya hizi haki ni kupata habari. Mmekabiliana na mambo kama hiyo katika jamii ambazo mmekuwa mkifanya nao kazi, wakiuliza kwamba ni haki yetu kupata habari kama hizo za EHS, kwa nikitilia manani EHS. Mmekabiliana na mambo kama hayo?
Asante sana Bwana Dennis. Sisi hatufanyi kazi katika mambo ya oil and gas, lakini tunafanya kwa mambo ya mining, and I believe mining and oil and gas are in the same sector, which is extractives. So you will allow me to share from the area where I know most than talking about oil and gas. So sisi tumekuwa tukifanya kazi huko Kwale katika kampuni, karibu na kampuni ambayo inaitwa Best Titanium Limited, ambayo inafanya mining of titanium. There are various minerals ambazo wana mine huko Kwale. Kwa hivyo access to information in relations to environmental health and safety at the beginning haikuwa wazi. Wananchi hawakuwa na hata zile environmental impact assessment reports, hawakuwa wanajua ni nini iko ndani ya hizo reports. Na baadaye wakati tulipata hizo reports, kuna wale ambao walikuwa wanasema ya kwamba those reports ni kama siko copy pasted from elsewhere. So those concerns have been raised. I'm not the origin of those. But then the people from around Base Titanium, there are several villages, around 9 of them, including Nguruku, Buiti. Those were the original villages from which people were displaced for mining. Wale watu, kwa sababu ile kampuni na zile kampuni ambazo zilitangulia zimekuwa pale kwa miaka mingi, wamefunzwa na wamejifunza yale madhara ambayo yanatokana na issues of mining. Kwa hivyo nitataja tu kwa ufupi yale ambayo tumeangazia pale. Tumeona kwamba wananchi wanaelewa kwamba in terms of environmental, there are those negative impacts on the people around the mining area. Kwa mfano, kuna issues of noise pollution. Kuna wale watu ambao walibaki karibu na mine kabisa. They are next to the mine. Wale watu wanasema ya kwamba the machines which are being used for mining, they produce a lot of noise. So which is an environmental concern for them. Then there is another issue of dust. Because you know they are producing minerals, so they mine the upper layer of the soil, which they use to extract minerals. So there is dust. There is also issues of, you know, the kind of mining they are doing there, they use plenty of water. So wamechenga dam, ambayo inaitwa, I don't know if I would pronounce it correctly, inaitwa Ngurumuduzi. Someone from Coast can help me in pronouncing that word later. Ngurumuzi. Yes, that one. That dam, the dam was built to provide water for the use in the mining area, because they use lots of water to extract minerals. They mix the water with the soil and other components from the earth. Then they pump that from the field to the processing area. So people say that there are effects out of that. They say they use chemicals which has not been proven, and they make claims, meaning that they are aware of the impacts of that mining processes. Because they say there are some claims they have made, but we have also worked directly with the Best Titanium Limited, who have said that that is not true. For them, they say they do not use any chemicals to extract the minerals. But then the people do understand. On the health side, there is...
maybe you summarize also.
Yes.
So, yeah.
In terms of health, the people around the mining area do not cultivate any food stuff, because initially that area was a forest. There is a forest nearby, actually, called Simba Hills. So there is wild animals. When people moved, the few who remained now cannot be able to cultivate, because the wild animals, they roam around at night, including pythons, crocodiles, and others. So you see, if we don't have food, there is the issue of malnutrition, which they raise now and again. And then the government has neglected these people around the mining area, because they say, what were base? That is what they tell me. So there is a lot of effects, and the people understand what's going on.
That's very useful, and I think ameelezea vizuri sana zile mambo ambayo yale jamii ambayo anaishi hapo karibu na hiyo operesheni za Best Titanium, zile mambo ambazo inawatia shauku sana kulingana na mambo ya EHS. Na ningependa sasa kuwauliza swali wale ambao ningeomba wale wako na microphones. Kuna microphones kwa audience.
Kulingana na vile ambavyo unaelewa ni kwamba pale ambapo kabla mradi uanze ni muhimu kuwahamasisha jamii kuhusu mambo ya EHS. Alafu pia ninavyoelewa ni kwamba kuna various stages yani of the whole project cycle, right? Kwa hivyo yani pale ambapo mkitoka kiwango kimoja mnakwenda kwa kingine, maybe before it would be advisable muhamasishe jamii so that they know that sorry, I'm mixing both English and Swahili, but ndo waweze kuelewa kwamba before you get into the operations, these are the risks and this is what you're putting in place to minimize the risk or mitigate them, so that isiwe kwamba you just go and do whatever stage you're in of your project, and then when the risks are now affecting the locals, that's when you come out and you're like, this is what and what we had tried doing. Definitely the community will not understand, unlike if you had informed them before. So the approach I feel is best is informing them prior to whatever stage you're about to engage in.
wameandikwa mahali pale, ni mandege inatoka huko, si vile. Kuna Wakenya kutoka Kenya na kuna Waturkana kutoka Kenya wameajiriwa, na wale watu wametoka nje ya nchi ambaye wako na expert. Huwezi kupeleka Mturkana kushika ya ile machine na hajaenda masomo. Hiyo ni kama unaua. Kwa hivyo hata Waturkana sasa hivi wamesoma mambo ya mafuta, wako wengi sasa. Hii mkondo wa kubeba mafuta, hapo ndio kashasha itajaa, kwa sababu watu watataka kazi, wako na makaratasi. Lakini wakati walianza tuliwaachilia, tukasema wacha tusome kutoka kwa watu wale wako na makaratasi ya engineer, na wengi ni Wajaluo wamesoma, tunashukuru. Unaona, ukienda huko wa engineer wengi na ni watu wazuri. Wacha mimi naambia, hata Waturkana wale wajasoma wamejua hata kushika hizo machuma na hajasoma. Kwa hivyo ni mtu anatumia akili ya hekima na ile ya makaratasi. Ya pili, Kenya ni nchi moja na kabila 47. Sisi kama Waturkana hatutaki ukabila. Kazi lazima tuchanganyike. Hatuwezi kufanya ile mambo ya kubagua. Na kama mimi mwenye nasimamia rais huko chini, lazima nifanye kazi transparent and accountability. Kazi ifanywe vizuri na mtu afanye kazi vile inatakana. Mambo ya neema ambayo ningetoa recommendation hapa. Watu wa neema wanatakana wafae socks vizuri, wafanye kazi yao kwa sababu wamesomea.
Makofi kwake. Kazi kwenu neema. Ndugu yangu Joseph Ekwam, kuna swali hapa iliulizwa kwamba kuna mambo ya honesty. Nimeshindwa kutafsiri hiyo, lakini nilisikia kuna malenga wamekaa kwa meza moja hapo. Honesty. Watu wanaelezea hii mambo kwa uwazi, kwa ukweli.
Thank you very much. I think what you wanted to put across is transparency, is it? Instead of honesty, can you allow me to use transparency? Yes. Okay. My understanding is, from your question, you are saying there is no honesty in these discussions. And my understanding of that is, you are saying there is no transparency. People cannot get to understand what is happening. Because if there is no honesty, things are not clear, people are not understanding what is happening. Is that the question? Maybe you can reframe the question then. Okay. Uaminifu. Okay. Yes. So I will look at this question from an understanding of why there is distrust. For me, I would think maybe there is no transparency, maybe information is not being shared properly, maybe things are not clear, and people don't trust each other. So there are no honest discussions. Maybe that is how you wanted the question to be addressed. But for me, I would look at it from a national discourse. And I would approach it from a transparency, accountability perspective. One, it is true there has not been honesty in the extractive discussions in Kenya. Why? If you ask my Nigerian doctor yesterday, he said, the two people who sit in the room, the industry and the government, they shake their hands. Nobody from us is there. Yeah? Nobody from the people here was there or is always invited. And so you invite, you find out that the secrecy in the PSC, for example, leads to dishonesty from our perspective. Like, why are we not being shown what has been agreed, for example? Where is the PSC, for example? And you know, from a legal perspective, there are confidentiality clauses on some of the PSC contracts. You cannot disclose. There is privity of contracts sometimes. But from a community perspective, I think we need to have a honest discussion. We need to be told. For example, let me use a local example. We were told, like, we have agreed. Who said that? It was the government at the local level, which is the county government, and the local leaders, plus the national government. We have agreed we have to start the EOPS. And the communities clapped and said, yes, let's have the EOPS. But the contents of the agreement were not written. Nobody saw what the agreement was about.
Yeah.
People just said, we have agreed, let's move on. And then another discussion came out that if we leave the trucks to go to Mombasa, you will get your 5%. But nobody told the people when to expect the 5%. Now, people are up in arms, closing the camp. They are asking for the 5%.
Yeah.
Are we told when it is coming? No.
Yeah. So I think we will. You will answer the question. So it's a good question that you ask about how honest are the discussions, and I think Ekwam has put it so clearly. It depends again who is on the room and all that, and which parties are involved. I think our time has run out, and we had a fantastic conversation. But I will not end without asking Susan to help us answer the question that was asked by Daktari, and more specifically in terms of how prepared in terms of building capacity of other stakeholders, more particularly the county government and other institutions from a county context in dealing with some of the impacts that are related to EHS and may occur in the course of the project. Or do we handle them as companies? Or so after saying that, I think we will call it an afternoon, and I'll be jobless again. Yeah, you have that. Yeah.
Thank you for that. For me, I believe whatever we decide to do, for as long as it's sustainable, then it works well. For example, for us as Zarara, if we don't strike gas, definitely we'll leave. But whatever EHS activities you're putting in place, are they sustainable? So for us, in Lamu, health was one of the major issues. So we are trying to focus on that by improving the local dispensaries and clinics and hospital. And as well as also water is a challenge for them. So we are trying to donate water tanks so that in the event that we're not successful, when we leave, at least they can still be able to trap water and try and be sustainable on themselves and just not depend on the organization. Yes, we do hold in-house training. That is basically for the locals who are currently working for us so that they can pass this knowledge to their households and people living around them as well. That's the best we're trying to do at the moment.